Hey you, what up? Welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Maryam. Today we are testing out the new Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions palettes. There are 4 of them. We got the Chameleon, the Tiger, the Jaguar, and the Python. I'm going to be swatching all of these on the swatch model. I'm going to show you some super high quality close-ups of these swatches. I'm also going to be applying some of these shadows onto my face to create this look that you see here that I quite like, but just because I like this look does not mean that I necessarily love these palettes. So you're gonna have to watch this video until the very end for that first impressions Team Truth style verdict. So with that said, let's get into this video. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already so you can see all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. All right, let's do that. And now we are ready to begin. Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions palettes. Here we come. Or shall I do roar? So I can tell that Huda and team are very excited about this Wild Obsessions palettes collection. If you go to their Instagram feed, I mean, it is just filled with these Wild Obsessions promos. There's even this one promo that I thought was really awesome, kind of funny, but definitely pushing the envelope a little bit with Huda roaring and everything because, you know, there's a Tiger Obsessions in here. So I thought that was pretty awesome. And given the fact that they've promoted it so much, they're probably really into this collection. And I can't say that I'm not either. And having just looked at these palettes for the first time, I gotta say, these are pretty beautiful. These are pretty stunning. So now in this collection, why I'm obsessed. There's 4 innovative textures. They look unreal on everyone. Includes a never before seen multi-reflective 3D embossed python print. That does look really, really striking. Long wearing, super blendable, easily buildable. Pigmentation and depth is so insane. The creamy textures apply like a dream with minimal fallout. Whether you use a brush or your finger, go from a soft pop of color to a super glam sultry eye in just a few swipes. So available with this collection is also a limited edition mini quad of 3 new liquid matte shades, as well as a mini size silk balm to complement your looks. So now each one of these palettes is $29, available online and in store from August 17th. Lip quad is $33, and the Wild Tiger exclusive is also available on ASOS.com. So that's pretty cool. Congratulations to Huda and team for that. All right, so let's go over all of these and let me show you some close-ups because personally, I can't choose a favorite. They're all just really, really beautiful to look at. Let's go over all of them. So we have the Wild Python. Now, this one has some shimmery greens, teals, blues, and a gold. And it also has 5 matte shades, a really unique lime yellow type of matte, and orange, some browns, and also a matte green. Each one of these palettes also comes with a mirror, which is great. I really do like this reflective type of packaging. Reminds me of like something from the 80s or the 90s where you can shift it from side to side and it kind of changes. What is that called? Holographic? Next, we've got the Wild Tiger. This one is gorgeous as well. It's got a lot of yellow shades. At first glance, looks very yellow gold to me. The center Python embossed shade has a reflective pinkness to it, like a pink gold shift duochrome vibe. Also 2 more gold shades, a nice bronzy shimmery shade, and lots of warm mattes. The Wild Jaguar, this one is probably, I don't want to say it's the most striking of them, but when I saw this under my studio lights, it was so super reflective and it's giving me a lot. There's a lot of variation here. There's like this sultry purple, green shift color. There's these really complex shimmery shades. Again, like I see olives, I see gunmetals, I see really unique combinations. In this palette, there are 4 mattes, a black, a brown, a cream, and a gray. And then in the Wild Chameleon palette, which is the red palette, this one's also very colorful. We have a unique swirl shade. It's a red shimmer and a purple shimmer swirl. We also have a purple metallic shade, a rose gold, a yellow gold, and a bunch of peachy, browny, maroony, orangey mattes. All right, so that is that. I am ready to swatch all of these. I'm going to need to call in the swatch model because that is a lot of shades. I'm thinking I'm just gonna swatch them, pop them in, talk about them, and call it a wrap. Let's do it.
Swatch model time. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, you've been missed, sir.
Hey, what's up?
What up? All right, here we have the lovely arm of the Swatch model. So which one of these would you like to have swatched on your arm?
I like this neutral one.
Oh, okay. So this is your favorite color combo out of all of them?
What I like about it is that it looks like you want to go out at night and have fun, and you can do something really sexy with it. I think the colors are sexy. You know,
I agree.
They're kind of like notice me, but not like in a slutty way. They're kind of like notice me like in a, maybe I'm slutty, but I'm not.
Lovely commentary there. Thank you. All right, so Wild Jaguar.
Not to be confused with a cougar. So like I said.
Starting with this first shade that has no name, but it looks really beautiful and very, very reflective.
Oh, that's
wow. Just a stunning, shimmery gunmetal shade.
That's dope. And I think a girl could just throw that on it and she's looking dope.
Or boy. This one.
So what do you call a male cougar? Coug boy?
What?
All right, maybe that didn't make any sense. Next one.
Stunning. That's really nice. Next one. These don't have any names. They should have names. These are name worthy.
Well, somebody's using a new lab.
Someone's being very observant.
Come on, look at that.
That's pretty good. It's pretty
That's good. Her mattes usually they don't like have the emollients to kind of get that kind of glide on the glide on the skin like that. It's really nice. You usually get a little bit more fallout too. That's pretty good.
New lab, perhaps? Okay, this one. Look how pretty.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
Look at that.
That's pretty.
What?
That's like a duotone?
Yeah, it looks like a duochrome to me.
It has like hints of magenta in there. Nice reds.
And gray and purple and lavender. Love that. Okay, next one. Oh my god. Come on.
No, it's definitely a new lab.
Gotta be.
Yeah, it's the new lab.
Stunning. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, here we go. The black. Ooh.
Blacks.
Ooh, the blacks.
Let's see.
Oh, excuse me.
Wow, that's a cool black too. It has like not a green undertone, but it's not like an annoying green.
Really? You see that?
Yeah, I think.
All right, and last one. This one also looks like a shifty kind of shadow.
Wow, look at that.
Similar but different. Wow. Okay then, we like that. Ooh.
That's pretty.
Right. Shall we swatch the rest?
Yep.
All right, off camera.
Peace.
Here we have Wild Jaguar. This one I will say probably swatched the best out of all of them. The mattes and the shimmery shades were equally as good. I really enjoyed the black. I thought it was like super black and super rich. Swatched really easily and had a really nice glide. The next palette that we swatched on the Swatch model was the Wild Tiger, hear me roar, palette. Now this one had a little bit of a chalkier mattes, I will say. Not as much emollients, not as much ease in terms of drag. And also the color combination was just like a little too fall-like for me. After seeing it on the flesh, it just seemed a little boring, you know? A lot of the colors felt the same to me. Next, I swatched the Wild Chameleon palette, and I will say this is the palette that probably swatched second best after the Wild Jaguar. I thought the mattes were pretty good, though not as great as the ones in the Wild Jaguar, but still very good. I loved all the sparkly shades. Everything just looked really, really nice. And last but not least, we have the Wild Python. Now this one had some pretty chalky, pretty transparent mattes, not the best quality, but the shimmery shades were really, really great. Also, I will say this is probably the most colorful palette of them all, the most summery feeling one. Also is giving me mermaid vibes. So I'm thinking this is the one that I want to apply to my eyes right now. Although I will have to agree with the Swatch model. That Wild Jaguar, aka Cougar, is probably the most universal palette and is definitely giving me that luxury, that glam, that nighttime vibes. I can definitely see a lot of people liking this one. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is prime my lids using my Fenty Beauty primer, making sure I get those corners too. I don't know, I definitely want to go for something a little bit colorful, a little bit more ethereal. This lime green shade, although it did not swatch too great, it's still a color that I'm really gravitating towards. It's really pretty, it feels very current to me, so that's the one that I kind of want to lead with today, just to see what happens. So what I'm going to do is pick up the shade on a Mario brush. This one is E4. I'm going to start applying that to my lid. I will say this is sticking quite well to the Fenty primer, and the color is appearing less chalky than it swatched. The fact that you can build it up is definitely saying something. That looks really cool in my monitor. I'm wondering if this is actually going to translate. But damn, that looks so damn dope. Like, I would just wear it like this, as is. Maybe just blend out the edges a little bit, put on some lashes, you know? But it's so cute and it's so fresh for the summertime. Ooh, yes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Imagine this with like a cute pink lip, like a baby pink, you know? You see what I'm saying? You see, this is a vibe, this is a vibe. I'm into it. All right, let me actually grab a clean brush. I'm gonna blend out this edge just a little bit. Although you don't even need to. I think even with a harsh edge, it looks so cool. I like that. All right, next I'm gonna grab a pencil brush. This one is from Laura Mercier, clay smudge brush. And with this one, I'm thinking, let me dip into this peach. This is another shade that didn't swatch great, but as I always say, swatches aren't everything. And the fact that this applied so well is really what matters. So because this one is kind of close to my natural skin tone, I don't mind going a little heavier, almost creating like a shadow with this peach. But I will say that this shade will probably not look good on everyone unless you're wearing it as a wash of color. But if you want this to be a pop of color, it's a little too pastel-y, it's a little too light for the deeper skin tones. All right, so now I'm thinking let's reach for one of these shimmery shades. Naturally, I'm thinking let's go for the green. This one feels very creamy. It has a duochrome effect to it as well, like a blue to minty shift. And I'm thinking let's just plop that to the very inner corner for that nice pop. Definitely adheres, and it also really dresses up the matte. So far, this is feeling very cute to me. So now there aren't any highlighter shades that I would place underneath my eyebrow because this shade here, it looks a little too olive and a little too duochromatic for that purpose. So I'm just gonna reach into one of these other palettes. Hopefully there will be something for me. Well, I guess maybe not. Outside of this middle shade here, I don't really see a brow bone highlight shade in any of these palettes. Everything is just a little too colorful and a little too popping. So what I'm gonna do is clean off my finger. I'm gonna reach into this Python shade. Now this one has a yellow gold to pink shift. It is very much a duochrome. So maybe what I'm doing here is not what I should be doing, but I wanna test it out anyway, so here goes. Wow, this is very, very striking indeed. Do you see how cool and reflective that is? And somehow it works and it just brings everything together in a really nice way. I'm thinking let's go for this matte, pale yellow, pale peach, nudie shade. I will say this is a pinch lighter than my skin tone, but still in that yellow family, so I think it'll work really nicely with this lime green. So what I'm gonna do is just blur out that edge between the green and the purple brow bone shade and just make everything blend a little bit easier and make everything a little bit more wearable. Okay, that was a really good choice on my part. So now I'm thinking I need to add a little bit of dimension to this very bright lid. So I'm gonna go for this teal shade right here, the matte. And I'm just gonna use it to deepen the outer corner a little bit. Grabbing this crown brush, just add a pinch of dimension to this corner because this shade is a bit darker, but it's not significantly darker. So I'm just gonna use this to pull out this corner and just add a bit more shape. I don't know if it did that, but what I do like is that it is a very distinct shade and it's adhering really well. Even though, like I said, this palette, especially the mattes from this palette, swatch the worst out of all of the mattes in all the palettes. This is another reason why I really wanted to test out this palette, because that will determine how good the other mattes really apply. If this is how the worst applies, imagine how the best swatches actually apply. Okay, I'm thinking this teal is taking away a little bit from the green, so I'm gonna go back to the lime green and just plop that back on because I really want that to be the main focus of this eye. So I'm just gonna add a bit more color like that. That did it. I don't know. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling good about it. So now I'm thinking let's add just a little bit more definition to the lower lash line. I'm going to grab a liner brush, this one right here, dipping into this brown here. I'm just gonna push that into the lashes. Ooh, this is very pigmented, much more than I was expecting. So I'm just gonna line my lower lash line and then also kind of blur that dark edge because I obviously don't wanna have Karen liner, wicked evil liner that makes people look like they're about to have a meltdown. We're not gonna do that here, don't worry. I'm also gonna extend that outer corner just a little bit, almost in a reverse cat eye, like that. And then of course, I'm gonna blend it out using that peach. It's fun, really, really fun. Oh yeah, okay, who is she? I'm gonna stop myself right here. So now I'm thinking I really don't want to add anything too dramatic or too crazy. I'm really liking this simple, colorful vibe. So what I'm gonna do is curl my lashes using my Laura Mercier lash curler, my absolute favorite one for my eyes, my short, straight Asian lashes. I'm gonna curl the bottom lashes too, as I always do. I'm actually gonna use this Huda Beauty Legit Lashes Mascara. I'm gonna use the curl and length side. I believe this is the mini. Just gonna add that to my tips. This mascara is kind of fire. I'm gonna add some to the bottom lashes as well. And there you have it. All right, so now let's go for this wild quad of lippies. First, let's swatch all three of these new liquid mattes. First, we have the shade Feline. Absolutely yes, that is a stunning shade. Probably the one that I'm gonna go for. Next we have Huntress. This one's really beautiful as well. And last but not least, we have Untamed. Now these are liquid matte lipsticks that set to a non-transferable matte. So I'm gonna give them a few seconds to set. But now that I know which one is my fave for this look, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it. Applying Feline. Exactly what I was going for. Just something very nudie, very neutral, something that will just allow the eyes to pop. All right, so the lipstick has now set. The swatches have now almost set. This is what they look like. I'm also gonna show you a close-up, as I always do, so you could appreciate these lippies too. But anyway, I gotta say, I am pretty impressed with these Wild Obsessions palettes, especially the Wild Python that I just applied to my eyes. This was the palette that, like I mentioned, had swatched the worst out of all of them, but I can't even say that the swatches were really bad. Just the mattes were a little average. They felt a little chalky, a little dry, a bit see-through. But upon application, I was pleasantly surprised by how well it adhered to my primer, how beautiful and vibrant it appears on the skin, on my lids, and overall, I am really impressed with this green. This is a color that is really difficult to formulate in an eyeshadow, and I am someone who really loves bright yellows, bright greens, these limey shades. They just remind me of summer. They make me feel happy, and it's a color that I always want to make work, but can never really find in a palette. So the fact that they were able to formulate this makes me feel personally very good, because I definitely am going to keep this particular palette just for this color. Even if everything else was crappy, I would keep this palette just for this one shade. So that is saying a lot for me. I can totally understand Huda and the Huda Beauty team's excitement, and I can feel the excitement by just looking at these palettes. Not only are they gorgeous to look at, they obviously perform really well. This is definitely a palette that I'm gonna have to test out in a different video because it is just so striking, and I can see so many different people, so many different ages, so many different skin tones gravitating towards these colors. I feel like they are very wearable, but yet very sultry, and they feel very special. Also, I have to say that the packaging is very cool, and all of these feel very special and a little bit more luxe than what I'm used to seeing from Huda Beauty. I really like these palettes at first impression, and I love them all for different reasons. This one obviously for the colorful aspect. This one I think for the nighttime, for the luxe and glam aspect. This one I just feel looks very rich, very vibrant. It's also very fall appropriate, so it could probably be used all year round. I could even see some holiday looks in this one. And this by far is probably the most wearable palette, even though it leans very yellow, and not everybody gravitates towards yellow shades, but the fact that it has a lot of different gold shades and they all swatch so beautifully tells me that this can also be worn day to night to any season. So overall, I gotta say, this is one of my recent favorite launches. I can definitely see why Huda Beauty posted so many times on her feed on Instagram. Even though I was like, whoa, that's kind of a lot of posts. Slow down. I can absolutely understand the excitement. You guys did it. Huda Beauty and team, you killed it, and I'm here for it, and I cannot wait to try out more palettes. So with that said, I am going to end this review on a very positive note. I'm going to give them an A for effort, and you guys are just gonna have to wait and see if this makes it into my faves X fails. So for now, I am going to zoom on out so that you can click on my next two videos. Here they go, click on them. I'll see you there. Peace.